everyone, and welcome to Our Sinclair. It's the wacky show where two mountain folks like ourselves take a deep look at the beautiful, vivacious European gift of the world that's known as the ZX Spectrum. Your good buddy, your good pal, Amigo Aaron, joined here tonight in the Heat Dungeon by the Brent. How's it going, the Brent?
I don't think the size of us is important that we're talking about the ZX Spectrum.
What did I say?
You said mountain people.
No, well, I didn't think of it that way. I mean, they live in the mountains, not the size of mountains. You know, it's near the end of September, the Brent.
No, it's not. It's not
the
even
middle
close.
of September, the Brent. But Mother Nature didn't get the memo. It's 4 million degrees in this metal building. But we love the Spectrum so much.
And we're contractually obligated.
Well said.
Sorry, my speech is a little splurred from the heat.
No kidding. But we love the Spectrum so much that nothing could stop us from mispronouncing the name of today's game. Le Abbey de Mort. Le Abbey de Mort. I think I got that, nailed that, much like they say it in a big F, the Brent. Listen, you know, you've got the Abbeys over in the UK, and over in Europe, France, all over the place. Do we have Abbeys in the USA?
Aaron, we're only 400 years old. We got nothing.
We got nothing. We just got churches, right?
That's right.
Or temples.
I mean, we have imported everyone's things, but
We need an Abbey. The only Abbey I can think of, when I hear Abbey, I think of Abdullah the Butcher, the big fat guy, the wild man from the Sudan, who used a fork on his victims and had curly shoes. Aside from that, I've got nothing on the Abbeys. Now, you're sort of you've been all over the country hundreds of times.
Wow.
Hold on a second, I'm getting to a point here.
okay, because that's not true at all.
I know, that's a joke point. What would you, if you had to think, because when I think Abbey, and when you look at a picture for this game, it's a big, like, foreboding structure. Like, it's a big, huge deal, right?
Yeah.
What do we got that's in West Virginia here that's on the same ballpark as your common Abbey?
Mothman statue.
What does that mean?
That's it.
That's a dumb answer, and it's also wrong.
Oh, what do we got?
So
The
when
prison.
that's exactly no. That's exactly we've got. The only dark, foreboding,
Got into.
ancient building that I can think of is Moundsville State Penitentiary, located in beautiful and scenic Moundsville, and it's called Moundsville because it's built right beside a giant Indian burial mound or Native American burial mound, if you want to be more politically correct.
It also housed a bunch of fat people.
What? Who?
I don't know. Just roll with
The
it.
heat's really getting to you, isn't it, the Brent, today?
I stroked out about 20
Yeah,
minutes
I
ago.
could tell. So we don't really, I mean, the large historic church structures, not so many in this state
Well,
that I know of. Can you think of any huge, I've seen them in Kentucky, other states, but
again, I mean, the most you're ever going to go is 400 years back.
Yeah.
And over in, like, England and Great Britain and France, that's like nothing.
that's true.
People's got forks older than that.
That's
so.
true. Now, you know, this game is sort of loosely based on historical events, which I'll get into when I get into the game, because you know me. But it's also got the tinge of the paranormal. You've got skeletons and living dead creatures walking around. We've never talked about this, because you used to come on Conversations with the Dark Side, but I haven't seen you on there for a while. What's your take on the undead, ghost, apparitions, that sort of thing? Are you down with that?
No, that's all crap. I mean, it's fun to pretend. I love to pretend.
Boy, you really put a fork in Conversation with the Dark Side right there.
No, I mean, if you're talking conspiracy theories and crap like that.
I'm not talking conspiracy theories. I'm talking the para-freaking normal.
No, it's all crap.
You know what's amazing to me? I listen to
We're
a lot
related?
No, that too. I listen to a lot of radio shows, right? And a lot of them I listen to from the 70s, CBS Radio Mystery Theater, and a lot of the stories are about the paranormal or psychic powers, that sort of stuff. And it's amazing how much more open-minded the people were in that era, but without being completely off the deep end. It seems like there's an in-between point, and they were there. They're like, scientifically, I think it's possible, but you're not buying any of it.
I believe the word you're looking for is ill-informed.
I just think people in the 70s sort of believed in it and were laid back about it. That's what I think.
Well, you know what I say to that?
I don't.
I need to take more drugs.
Listen, after being with you in this heat zone, I need to take the drugs. Enough of this banter. Let's get into the game proper.
But it was so witty.
Oh my God, I can't take anymore. As we mentioned, the Clives Club has spoken, and they spoke with an accent this week because they're going to be looking at l'Abbey des Morts, or as it's going to be referred to henceforth, the Abbey of the Dead, which is a cool name.
It's not bad.
It's a cool name. Now, this is a game that was originally released. So first of all, I've been misinformed for a long time. There's a French adventure game that I've read a lot of credits on over the years on Amigos, even on this show.
Sure.
That I thought was this. So I thought this game was old. It's not old.
No.
Not old at all. It actually came out on the ZX Spectrum in 2014.
Yeah.
But before that, this was a game that was released for the PC, for Windows. And it was released with a Spectrum look to it on purpose.
Was the Windows the first place it was released?
It was the very first place it was released. In fact, I've got...
Okay.
This has been released about a zillion times. If you'll allow me to dig into the woods on
Ooh,
this.
diggy.
Starting in 2010, this came out for Windows. Then in 2013, you had Linux. 2014, Spectrum, which is funny because the Windows version and the Linux version are made to look like a Spectrum game. It's just funny. Then you've got, in 2014, this came out on the Wii and the Ouya and a web browser version. Who had a Founders Edition Ouya in this room? No, it was you.
No, I bought it. You owned it.
All right, I got rid of it. In 2015,
I see what you did.
This came out on the Amiga, the Mac. On 2016, the Xbox, the OG. 2017, the PSP and Genesis. 2018, the 3DS and the C64. And in 2021, this came out on the NES. And I believe there's also a version that's out on the Switch as well. So these keep getting ported out. The original...
Oh, very odd.
Yeah. So this originally was published by for the ZX by a fellow named Jerry, or a lady, from Russia, and someone named Paolo Aris from Italy. The original game was done by this outfit called Loco Milito, and this was it was an outfit consisting of Juan Antonio Becerra Vilches and his partner Javier Garcia. And when you got back to the ZX Spectrum, the graphics were, the code, music, everything was done by a fellow named Yuri Popatov. Let's see, Poptapov. Man, this is like, it's like the obstacle course of names.
I didn't know you were so trilingual, Aaron.
Yeah, I'm trying to be lingual, but I'm failing. So this will run on the 48 and 128 ZX, and is a platform adventure game. Now, before we get into the game proper, Brent,
Okay.
I did a little research, you know me. So let me give you the plot of this game, and then we'll get into the research part of the game. So, the game takes place in the 1300s, okay? And in real life, this is based on an actual event, sort of. It's called, and by the way, historians, grain of salt. Here we go again. I looked this up. The Albigensian Crusade, okay? Also known as the Cather Crusade. It went on from 1209 to 1229. It was a military and ideological campaign initiated by Pope Innocent III. With a name like that, you know he's gold. To eliminate Catharism in basically what's southern France, and it was called Languedoc. Okay, so
was that supposed to be Catholicism?
No, it's not.
Okay,
the Catholicism was the one crushing the other thing.
Okay. I've never heard of that.
Okay, so it was basically the French government was like, let's go whoop a butt, and they got rid of as many Cathars as they could, and they realigned the county of Toulouse with what the French crown preferred religiously. All right, so there you go. And this also, according to Wiki, diminished the culture, the long-standing culture of the Languedoc area. So that's what they wanted. They were basically booting this offshoot.
Yeah,
now, I could I could get into the long and detailed reasons why these two religions were at odds, but I don't want to. And also, I tried to understand them, but too dumb.
Also, two religions fighting each other. You don't really need to explain it.
Trust me, I'm sure it's just like a Royal Rumble of religions. They all get involved eventually. Players in this game assume the role of Jean Raymond, a Cathar monk who narrowly escaped a brutal purge of his fellow believers in the Albigensian Crusade. He at the beginning of the game, you start this game off on the run in the woods.
Yep.
The group of soldiers, presumably French Catholic soldiers, they're hot on your heels, and you make a hasty retreat into the abandoned Abbey, and you learn the horrors that lie within. Brent, when this thing popped up, your thoughts?
Well, I actually, and I believe you did as well, I had a little bit of trouble running this at first.
On the Specky?
Yeah.
I had an infinite amount of trouble. In fact, I never successfully got this to work on the Ngo. I had to go to the ZX Spectrum and load it off tape, not speed load. I had to sit there and watch it load up. That was the only way I could get this to work on anything that I had that was like close to an actual Spectrum.
Huh, interesting. I didn't have that bad of an experience,
Yeah.
but I also had a little bit of difficulty getting this going. And within my attempts to get it running, I saw the little like catchphrase for this game, where it's something to the extent of use religion as your weapon, and I was like, well, I'm screwed. So then I started the game up, and immediately I was like, oh wow, I really am screwed.
Yeah.
But I don't want to get in the game proper yet because I have a few other things I want to talk about.
Yeah.
But I thought the splash screen was very well done, and of course this has all of your modern day options for a Spectrum game. Let you set your keys up. I'll let you adjust your sound and whatnot. It was easy.
It did let you look at the info.
Yes.
That's what it would let you see, all the little items in the game. It didn't necessarily identify them all, but it identified most of them.
Right. Well, some things were supposed to be a mystery.
Right.
So I was happy for it to let me set the keys, which I set up as arrow keys.
Yeah.
And immediately found out that it didn't like that.
Oh, I never tried the keyboard on the ZX version. So
yeah. So after the keys, after doing the arrow keys, I switched to your standard WADS.
Yeah.
And fared much better.
It's okay on this because you don't really you don't do anything.
Well, so you can play this with one hand.
Yeah.
So that made it a little helpful.
So I've got what passes as the box for this game. By the way, the fellows involved in this, aside from doing all the programming, one of the guys actually did the art, the box art, the watercolors or whatnot. So I'm going to read directly from the box. A Cathar scraping from crusades, a hideout in the night, an evil secret. In the 13th century, the Cathars who preach about good Christian beliefs were being expelled by the Catholic Church out of the southern region of France. One of them, called John Raymond, found an old church which to hide, not knowing that beneath its ruins lay buried an ancient evil. Now fate will test his faith. So this game originally, I said, came out for Windows. This is the box I'm reading for, but it says it features and this is on the PC version, so it makes it more funny. Orthodox Spectrum ZX style graphics, very simple controls, 23 screens to explore, 16 color palettes, one color per sprite, which is an odd thing to say.
Yes,
one channel monophonic music using only square waveforms. So you're getting deep in there. Secrets and hints to collect items. So that's your box.
Although I have to say, just since you brought up the music, I thought the music on this was pretty good.
Oh yeah, I thought it was quite good. I thought it was. You've got more of it in the Windows version, but you still the music on the ZX was good. So I had so much trouble playing this that I panicked, and I downloaded the PC version just to make sure that I had a fallback.
Oh, okay.
In case, but luckily I got it working. I really had trouble early in the week. So I have played both games and have intimate knowledge of both of them, having played them so much. Again, you play the monk Jean Raymond, and you are going through the Abbey, and you find out early on. I'm going to tell you right now, our talk about this is going to contain spoilers. There's no way around it. As you go through the Abbey, this is a simple game. You have no attacks. You can go up, down, left. You can jump. You can go left, right, or you can duck, and you can also duck and crawl.
Yeah.
Okay. That's it. You've got no gun. You're not going to pick up any weapons. There's no upgrades. There's nothing. You got nothing. And they stuck to their guns. You're just an innocent monk, and not the cool ninja style monks.
Yeah.
Not the, you know what I'm saying? This is like an Abbey type monk who has to navigate his way through these various obstacles. So you find out early on, and this is the way I read it. As you go through the game, you're going to come across scrolls. And the scrolls will give you little hints of backstory.
Mm-hmm.
As I mentioned, you start the game off by running from the soldiers, then you run into the Abbey and lock the door. And so the entire time you're in there, anytime you go to the room with the doors out, you can hear them banging on the door.
Yeah,
which I thought was a nice touch. And then you take off through the game. The game has a pretty interesting checkpoint system in it. You're going to come across these, I guess you call them statues with a cross on top, almost like a headstone. And anytime you come across one, that will be the next checkpoint. So if you die, that's where you're going to go back. So you're not necessarily going to want to touch all of these if you don't want to go back there. And some of them are in a pretty bad spots. But you find out early on that it says 12 brothers hid and died in here, right? And what that means is 12 of your monk brothers lost their lives in here. So then later on it says 4 of the brothers switched their religion. Okay, so here's how I figured that out. I figured the 12 brothers made up the shrouded skeletal creatures that you come across, and the 4 that change religions make up the knights you come across. That's just the way I read it. Did you have a thought on that?
No.
Does that make sense to you? Did you not read that much into it? I thought it was kind of. I like it. It's very D&D-esque.
There are 4. There's a room where you're outside of the Abbey, and there's a tree with 4 hung monks. I put those as the 4 that switched their religion.
Maybe, but who are the knights? Just guards? Don't know. There are plenty of ways to interpret it.
Sure.
This game will remind you very much of a classic ZX run and jump game. It's a game that is very
better or for worse.
Very reminiscent of something like of your Manic Miners or your Jet Set Willy, stuff like that. Except leagues and leagues easier than those games. I mean, leagues easier than those. That's not to say that this game's not having its difficulty.
No,
but it's nowhere near like Manic Miner. I'm hard pressed to get off the very first level.
Well,
I sat there and played a million times.
But that's a level of difficulty that gets into the stupid.
Yeah, well, I mean, no, it's a different type of game. This game
wants you to play it.
Well, yeah. So this game has at the bottom of the screen, it will list how many men you have left, and it'll list them in hearts. Anytime you come across a heart in this game, you're not getting health. You're getting another man.
Yeah, another chance.
So that's another thing you want to when you see one and you've got space for a heart, you want to grab it, get an extra man. Also at the bottom of the screen are 12 crosses. Your goal in this is to get 12 crosses, and for a reason that you'll find out at the end of the game. And so you have to run and jump and avoid obstacles as you go through this what I would call a pretty mazy game. You're going to go. There's going to be rooms that have multiple paths in and out. So there's not like one path. You think to yourself, 23 screens. I'm going to shoot through that pretty quick. And you can, but like in some of the screens, like there are
maybe like 18 of them.
If you think about it, there's a screen that the soldiers are chasing through the woods.
Yeah.
There's a screen where you go into the Abbey. There's a screen where you go onto a balcony and just look over the woods, which is real nice. I like that they threw that in there.
Yeah.
And then there's the screen where you enter the Abbey. That's 4 screens right there gone. So there's 19 screens after that. So this is not, we've played games that have like 5,000 screens or something like that.
Right, but this game uses the screens it has to great effect.
Well, oh, go ahead.
Every room has sort of a theme, and I don't mean like, although every room has a name, everybody loves that.
I love that too. Great. Yeah.
But every room has kind of a theme that you're trying to figure out or get past, be it how the enemies are laid out, or some rooms are sort of puzzly and you have to kind of find out the twist of the room if it's got invisible floors or something. So each room feels very complete. It doesn't feel like you have a whole lot of throwaway space.
Right, exactly. And rooms often serve multiple. They have multiple functions. Like you have to, not only are you trying to obtain something in the room, but you're also trying to get somewhere, and you're also seeing an entrance that you can't get to that has something in it you might need, and you can know about it from another room.
Right.
So it's actually, I thought it was, in terms of the level design, I thought it was really clever. If I'm honest.
No, I agree.
Again, is this going to win any awards for the best graphics we've ever seen on the ZX? No. These are, but I mean, they're not bad.
But they're fine.
They're standard graphics. There's color clash. Don't get me wrong. It's not super bad, but it's in there. So you might as well prepare yourself for a little bit of color clash.
Although your color clash is almost all on your player character.
Yeah, it's almost all on him.
Which actually is
well, that
very
makes sense,
helpful.
Though, because that sometimes it helps you can tell where you're at on a ledge or something.
When I want to go over this, Aaron. When I first started this up, right, and I started my first game, I was dying all over the place. I don't know if I just wasn't in the right mindset, or what it was, but I was having a terrible time, and it has nothing to do with the controls. The controls are good.
Yeah, the
hitboxes are ridiculously tight.
I think they're fair.
They are.
Oh,
no,
okay.
They are.
Yeah.
But I died like 8 times, and I was like, screw it, I'm going back to the guards. The game doesn't let you do that. Then when I played my second time, I did tremendously better. The difference between game 1 and 2 is night and day. So it does tell me that this is a game that don't get frustrated the first time you fire it up. Give it a few plays, and as I went on, I kept getting better. Although the jump from 1 to 2 was not the same jump I had from 2 to 3. But it shows that you can get better at this, and you can start to understand what the game wants from you. Also, in this, not all enemies are positioned in a way that are dangerous. And what I mean from this, it happens on screen like 6 or 7, depending on which way you go. The
plant level?
No, I'm talking about the spiders. The spiders.
Oh, yeah, where they don't all the way go down.
Yeah, they go down just far enough to not hit you.
Yeah, except for one. There's one that does.
And you start to realize things like that, and it really helps. First of all, it helps your nerves on the game, but it also helps you know what you have to really concentrate on navigating. I really like that about this game.
Yeah, this game, it's clever, and I mean, there are plenty of places where 2 things you need to avoid are going back and forth, and they're random, and you sort of have to time them out.
You do. There are times you have to wait.
But there are also plenty of places where you need to basically avoid stuff that's being dripping or shooting out, and but it's in a sequence, and that's the times you're talking about where you could say like, okay, which of these actually it looks horrible, and then once you then look at it.
Yeah.
And one of the things this game doesn't have, and to its benefit, is a timer.
Correct.
You can take all the time you want in the Abbey when you're here to look around, because you don't have to worry about running out of time, which is fine. That would have actually, I mean, you could have put in like an advanced level maybe and put a timer in it, but I liked having more time.
Well, I think from a story perspective, you could have definitely put a timer in this game. It would have made sense, but I don't think it would have helped the fun factor, because there are puzzles in this that you have to figure out.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that they didn't try to rush you through the game. If you knew where all the secrets were, if you knew, and were skilled enough to get through this, you can get through the whole game in like 15 minutes.
Yeah, the guy that made this, the original game, he specializes. The Loco Melito crew specialize in games you can play in about an hour. That's their goal.
Yeah.
And one of the other things I liked about this game is like I was good at it right out, like especially the PC version. I wasn't the PC version. I think it's easier than the ZX version. They're beat for beat very similar. There were a few minor level changes that I noticed, but not that many. Man, I got right out of the gate, probably my second game, I ended up getting 7 or 8 crosses, and I ended up getting, I can't remember if I got 9 or 10, but I mean, I knew where 2 of the last 3 I needed were. So, I mean, I was right there. So, I think that if given enough time, I could absolutely beat this. Probably get it, and give me a couple days, I could probably beat it. And and that's what the guy wanted. That's the way he made these. They're fun little distractions that you can play, and you can give them a whirl. Something else I liked about the lack of a time limit is the fact that this game. It's funny. We play all sorts of games, and it's always go back to the ZX Spectrum because it's amazing what they do with less.
Yeah.
This game sets a great ambience around your monk, the story. You know, we play a lot of games that just have crap bebopping back and forth across the screen, just like random stuff. And you're like, it's just some kind of obstacle. And even in this game, you see there's random spiders, but it does chime with the motif of the game. Plus, the other stuff they put in, the scrolls, like the background story. The beginning is so unusual where you're being chased through the woods right out of the gate.
Yeah.
Like, I'm looking at the screen now. You're going to see where you ring a bell. I rang the bell. I'm not even 100% sure what the bell does.
Opens the door.
Does that what it did? But I rang it. There are scenes you're going to come across crosses all the time, but sometimes you're going to come across crosses that are upside down. Not good. And there are special areas you have to go and hit a certain point on the screen that will revert a certain upside down cross. It doesn't do them all. I know there are multiples of these. I don't know if you got that far, but there are several crosses that are upside down. If you come to one, it's very unfortunate when you get to one and you can't pick it up because it's upside down. You know, so they use that. They put that in there too. There's a scene where your guy just walks. There's a scene upstairs. He walks out on a balcony and he looks over the woods, and it's like a moment. It's a music plays right there. Some special music. And it says something at the bottom, like a prayer for peace or something like that. I love that. I saw some people complain that they wasted a screen. No. That screen is a nice setup.
Yeah.
It gives you something to think about. Like, okay, this is a monk. He's going to get to all odds to go and get these crosses. I picked up 9 or 10. I never could get them all, so I had to go and see what happened at the end. I'm not going to give away the ending. But it's great. I thought the ending was real good. And the ending, you also get to see why you needed to pick up the crosses, which also is cool. So it all makes sense in a lot of the game. And I mean, it's the ending of this game will stick with you. It's a real unusual. What did you think? I know you went through and watched the whole thing. What did you think of the later parts that you didn't get to in the ending?
Well, I like you. I think I picked up 9 crosses total. So I was right on the cusp myself. And the ending is exactly what I expected.
Yeah.
Which is a good thing. It's a game that you owe it to yourself to take an hour. And hey, if you pop it in, you don't like it, at least give it 2 plays. But you can get through this pretty quickly, I feel, and have a pretty good time with it.
I agree. Just to shut the door on this before we get to our reviews and stuff. Of course, this really didn't get any magazine reviews as to when it came out, but this has been showered with praise. The various versions of this game.
Sure.
People really respect what these fellows did, you know, and so it's definitely one. I think this is available on. It's funny. I had a heck of a time finding somewhere to get the ROMs for the 6 version too. That was. The ROMs I had, I thought were not working right, so I just went out to get my own. It was difficult. So you may run into some difficulty even of getting hold of these ROMs.
And this is freeware.
I couldn't even find it on itch.io or any place. It was amazing how much trouble. I ended up going to one of the ZX Spectrum game database sites, and they had it there. But it was very difficult to find the ROM.
Well, what I want to say,
it's not even in that archive.
I found where it was freeware and it was labeled as freeware, but I don't know if it was necessarily supposed to be freeware or if it was freeware when it was released back in 2014.
Yeah. So your mileage may vary.
Yeah.
If you could find a way to pay for this, I'd throw this guy a few bucks. If you're interested in one of the other versions, I did see all those available. The NES one, for example, I saw on itch.io, and I saw there's a C64 version. So there's plenty of versions. So even if you don't feel like trying this on the Specky, and so they look pretty good. I mean, I didn't try any but the PC version because there were so many, but I have looked at the Amiga version. I didn't think it looked all that great. I've heard mixed bag about that one. I might just stick with the old ZX. I mean, that's what they really wanted it to be on.
Yeah,
was the ZX version. So, believe it or not, this game was given the Retro Gamer Sizzler Award at the in Retro Gamer number 131, and so they did at least win that award. We did get of course, there's no eBay or anything like that.
Sure.
There are places that sell boxes for this too. But again, the funny thing about a game like this, you'd think they would keep it all in house and like you could buy the different versions. They're everywhere, so you're going to have to skirt around trying to find it. We did get a few reviews, the Brent, for this bad boy.
All right.
Let's start off here with Pajako. He says he stumbled across this in my frequent trips around the interwebs and instantly fell in love with it. Despite being an extremely short game with just over 20 screens, it's extremely punishing in places, which is kind of fitting given the theme of the game. Some absolute machines on your YouTube can complete this in 10 minutes, but it isn't something anyone is going to pick up and complete on their first try. I've played this a few times over the years and haven't got to the end yet. It keeps kicking my butt, and I keep coming back for more because I enjoy it. The checkpoint system is great, as you don't need to backtrack too far if you die, and when you get good, it can be used as a way to get back quickly to a place on the map for the cost of a life. There are some puzzle exploration elements, and the whole switch your faith in order to pick up certain items. Nothing new in the grand scheme of things, but executed well. I guess that could be what explains that some brothers changed their religion. Maybe when you're hitting that button and switching its crosses upside. I never thought about it that way. Plenty of ways to interpret this. Anyway, Pajako continues. The graphics are really well done. There's a lot of variety packed into a small game. The audio does get a little irritating on a short loop, but it's no different to some of the stuff we played back in the day. It all works well. Classic old school hard as nail. Joystick breaking for fun. It's free. There's no reason not to try it. 8.5 out of 10.
Yeah.
I would say that again. I didn't find as difficult as many of the other games of this sort. Jed Byrne chimes in. Oh, what a tangled web we weave. When at first we created a PC exploration platformer in the spirit of a ZX Spectrum computer game, now it's an actual ZX Spectrum exploration platformer being emulated on a PC. A tangled web indeed. At first, I did not get this game. I judged it as a ZX Spectrum game and felt more like a Mastertronic budget release than a classic like Manic Miner, Starquake, or Underworld. It did not have big, pixel-perfect leaps of Manic Miner or the frantic action of a Steve Crow or Ultimate Arcade Adventure. To begin with, I thought this was on par with your average modern game created with the arcade game designer. I thought there was a problem with the level design because much of the screen would be empty, and all the action would be squashed into a claustrophobic corner. That unused space could be used to put more challenges in and make the ones there feel less cramped and awkward. Why have entire screens that do nothing? There are only 23 screens, and some of them are pointless. The initial chase through the woods could have been a simple intro. And why is there a screen where you just stand in a window looking at the night sky? Why it be like this? As I played on, I began to appreciate what this game was really doing was creating atmosphere. It's something that was lacking in most original Spectrum games. The blurb babbled on a bit about the Black-Toothed Empire or something. The screen was filled with strange, wacky things. Then you tried your best to survive and progress. Game design has come a long way, and Abbey de Morts shows that a strong sense of atmosphere can still be created using only the simple mechanics of an 8-bit game. The initial chase through the woods sets the pacing. The stream of guards gives you no time to think until the door slams shut and you finally have time to take in the scenery. The game is much better than I first thought, and I'm glad I persevered. Well said, Jed Byrne. I think it's an interesting game. Like I said, the money's right on this one. If you've got a few bucks to throw at this guy, fine, give him a break. But if you can find ways to do that, but I think for free, you can't beat it. I think it's a really fun game. And the thing is, I don't mind a game that you beat in an hour. When me and Boat played a game that was sort of the same sort of length as this on the Amiga a few years ago. It was our favorite game of the year, and it was not long. It doesn't have to be long. I like a game that you can beat in an hour. It's okay to do that, especially for a game that's coming in at the price point this one does. So I think it's a big winner. You got any final thoughts on this one, Brent?
Just to check it out. I think it's worthy of checking out. And again, just give it at least 2 plays.
We should also mention that, and we didn't get into that this much, but it's not everything in this game is as you would expect it to be. There are hidden areas, there are secrets, and they're not ludicrous to find. You know what I'm saying? You can get there. Not that bad. So that's something else. I think in the long run, you'll have a good time giving it a whirl, and it won't take too much out of your busy schedule. All right.
Aaron, we have to ask, what's coming up next week?
Well, it's a good question, Brent. As I try to go through our tangled Our Sinclair Clouds Club area, so I can tell you that next week, September 21st, will be ARG Presents. Hilariously, Brent, this time it's games that should never have been ported. Coming off of our games that were better than the original, ports better than the original, this is games that they never should even tried to port.
And that sometimes, Aaron, the wheel works in wonderful ways.
Yeah. Now, for you ZX fans, fear not, we will be back October 5th for Our Sinclair, and I believe they are mixing. I think we're going to be doing a holiday-themed game. I'm not sure it's been selected yet, because of Halloween. October 5th, that's going to be our shot. So I think we're going to be doing a Halloween game. So I'm not sure. It has not been announced. As soon as it's announced, we will let everybody know that, Brent.
There you go.
I think that's all we've got this week, everybody. Just a couple notes, since we haven't been on Our Sinclair for a while. You'll recall at BowFest, our good buddy, Happy Coding ZX, did us a solid and revamped all the games that him and his Midnight Brew buddies had put down with special Boat Fest editions for our arcade challenge. And I love Happy stuff, and it was so much fun that I did a stream a couple weeks ago on the games of Happy Coding and the Midnight Brew. It's all ZX and ZX Next stuff. So if you're interested in that sort of thing, head over to Amigos Retro Gaming on YouTube, get under that live tab, and you'll see the stream. You can't miss it. It's Happy Coding and the games of the Midnight Brew. It's a lot of fun. Happy is quite the programmer.
Yes, he
is.
And
his crew over there, his buddies, I call them his crew. They're all man. They do whatever they want. And they've pumped out some great stuff over at the Brew, including some stuff that was at our Game of the Year last year. So I highly recommend you check that out. And if you are one of these people that are enjoying Spectember, continue to enjoy it. We're trying to figure out where Spectember begins and September ends, and we'll let you know as soon as we figure it out ourselves. Any final thoughts to Brent?
No.
That's great. So, thanks for joining us, everybody. Have a nice week. We will catch you next time around, and until then, rewind tape.
No.
And press play. Press play.